We begin the program by finding out just what is Adlerian play therapy.
Adlerian play therapy is a way of working with children in which you use toys and playing for the kid to communicate with the therapist. And it is based on the ideas of Alfred Adler, who developed a theory called individual psychology.
What are some of the ideas that Adler had that would pertain to this work?
Adler said that you can't consider a person outside the context of their family. So one of the things that I do in Adlerian play therapy is I include the family as part of the context of the understanding of the child. And he also said that you have to consider people holistically. So you have to look at all of the parts of their lives and see how they interact with people at school, people at home, people in the neighborhood, all of those places. So one of the things that I spend a lot of time doing is looking at the child in various contexts. So I'll go and visit a school, or I'll go and talk to kids from the neighborhood sometimes.
So the major life environments are important. The family,
Yes.
firstly, and then as they move out into the school.
Yes.
And then even the community broader.
Right. And I also always look at the purposes of behavior. Adler said that all behavior has a purpose. So I spend a great deal of time in my therapy with the children thinking about the purposes of their behavior.
You like the way that they will play, or the toys they choose?
The toys that they choose, and how they play, how they interact with me, how they are in the playroom.
This is kind of like one big projective technique.
Yes, basically, that's what play therapy is.
In a minute, we're going to watch you work with a young 5-year-old boy, and Joshua is his name. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that in light of what you've just been telling us and kind of set it up for our viewers.
Okay. Joshua lives with his grandmother right now, but his mother has kind of come back into his life, and he's living in 2 houses.
Huh?
So that's a struggle for him because he doesn't know where he belongs. He doesn't kind of know how he fits in each of those places. So when he came into the playroom, well, first of all,
He wasn't so sure he wanted to come in.
he decided he wasn't going to come.
Yeah.
Basically, he
We
said,
were going south and he was going north.
"Absolutely not! I'm not going in there. I'm not doing this." And so I took a couple of the puppets to try and engage him, and he got kind of feisty with one of them. I took a monkey, and he goes kind of batting the monkey. And one of the things that I make from that is that he's a kid who doesn't feel like he's in control of his life right now. And so those were the kinds of themes that we had in the session. One of the things you look at is for themes in the play. And he was going to show me that I was not going to be the boss. And he did, kind of over and over and over again. He also, though, showed me that he would take care of me and that he was concerned for me and those kinds of things. So it was a really kind of cool combination.
What are some things that our viewers should look for in this interview?
Well, one of the things is how he does express his need for being in more control. Even little tiny kids need to have control of some things in their lives. And if a kid is feeling like he doesn't have control, then he's going to play that out in some way.
Okay, that's Joshua, but what should they look at in terms of Terry, in terms of what Terry's doing?
Okay. One of the things I tried to do was make some guesses about that need for control. I also tried to do a whole lot of encouraging kinds of things to him. So I pointed out his assets. I pointed out where he tries to do things.
So that was a lot of the stage 1 work.
Yes. I also did some stage 2 work in terms of I asked him to draw or play out a family. And he chose not to do that exactly, which is pretty typical of a 4 or 5-year-old anyway. But he did give me a drawing of something. And then I used the drawing to explore some ideas, and I used the drawings that I made then to go into some 3rd phase and 4th phase kind of things, some guesses about kind of what was going on.
Well, let's watch. This is going to be neat.